Wednesday night soccer in USL League One never disappoints. And our scene tonight is the Pacific Northwest, where one of the best home teams in Spokane Velocity takes on the Charlotte Independents, who recently won 8 consecutive matches in league play. Sets up a fun contest brought to you by Creme 2 News, your local Spokane news station. I'm Josh Lill, happy to have you with us this evening. And while we have a moment, let's take a look at the league table sponsored by Creme 2. And right now, the top of the table, it's up for grabs as Omaha and Knoxville battle for first. Charlotte, they sit a couple of wins away from sitting atop the standings. And recent expansion sides, AV Alta, AC Boise, and Fort Wayne aim to make the playoffs for the first time. A win for Spokane tonight would be key in creating space and jumping Madison in that 7th spot. Well, One Spokane Stadium, it's been a nightmare venue for opponents this year, where Velocity FC have won 9 of their 11 matches across all competitions. And for a side that just lost 5 games in a 7-match span, this trip home is a much-needed antidote for Lee Wiedemann's side. And the head coach recognized that every team goes through these dips in a long season, but it's up to you and the rest of the club to hold yourself accountable. They come home confident after shutting out Richmond and clinching their USL Cup group to advance to the knockout rounds. Well, we turn our attention to the third-year Spokane man, Luis Heel. With nearly 200 chances created in his League One career, they'll look to the veteran in the absence of Siobhan John Brown to move this offense forward. And for a team that recently suffered 4 shutouts, it's time to let Spokane's all-time leading goal scorer ignite this attack. Well, last time these two teams got together, the match took place in North Carolina, where the Independents continued their dominance on home turf, holding Spokane scoreless. And Velocity, they dug themselves in a hole early on with an own goal committed by Simon Fitch. Javan Romero, Miles Lyons, they would join the scoring party, which was capped off by Luis Alvarez, who took over the scene. Mike Jeffrey's side, they also shot 80% on the evening, which is simply absurd. 4 goals on 5 shots on target. A win tonight will be crucial in keeping pace with Knoxville and Omaha for that top spot in the table. Well, it's time to shine for Swabu Maroon, with Luis Alvarez having not seen the pitch in the club's last 4 matches across all competitions. Maru's presence, his press, and attacking prowess will be key in leading this top line for Charlotte, that is the top goal-scoring unit in the league. And fast starts have propelled this East Coast Cub to wins, and they need their striker to set the tone early. It's the second meeting of the season between these two clubs, and can Spokane avenge their 4-goal loss to the Independents in March? Or will Charlotte knock yet another team off that sits above the playoff line? Don't go anywhere. Starters to kick off. Up next.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
Starting lineups tonight are brought to you by Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. First for the hosts, 3 changes from last Saturday. Sean Lewis, the 2-time Goalkeeper of the Year award winner and Golden Glove winner, is in net. Ibrahim Covey makes his 3rd start of the year, and he impressed Lee Veidman with his dueling capabilities and transition defending. Marky Hernandez sees the 11 for the 3rd time, and expect Derek Waldeck and Meji Alexandra to create those overloads on the left side. And for Charlotte, 2 switches for Mike Jeffries from that Chattanooga fixture. Matt Levy remains between the sticks, and Fabrice Nga fills in for an injured Joey Skinner. It's Nga's 1st start of the year. Luis Alvarez on the bench for the 2nd straight match, and fans hope they'll be back and ready to go soon. Well, we're moments away from kickoff in Spokane, Washington. Luis Hill and Amor Pelaez set to get things started here for the hosts. They're in the light kits with dark letters and numbers. Charlotte, the blue kits with gold letters and numbers. Spokane set to go right to left, the visitors left to right. The sun is shining here in the Pacific Northwest. Jacob Larson is our head official for the evening, and we are underway from One Spokane Stadium. I'm Josh Lill, set to take you the full 90 minutes as Spokane Velocity FC and the Charlotte Independents face off here on a beautiful Wednesday night. Charlotte have hopes of climbing the league table further. And for Spokane, they took an unexpected dip. They sit in 8th, just 1 spot away from dropping below the playoff line. They hope to regain a bit of composure here this evening. Ball into the box and cleared away. Sets up our first corner kick inside the 1st minute of play. It is 97 degrees at One Spokane Stadium. And of course, if you've been paying attention to all the wildfires that have taken place, not just over the country, but specifically in the western part of the United States, Spokane, they have gotten their fair share of the smoke here on this ICCU corner kick. They'll look to defend here. And Charlotte have the first set piece. It's John Baccaro. Header dangerous, and Lewis doesn't even flinch. Javier Romero down early for Charlotte. A key piece on that back line. And a bit shaken up, a vital piece of all the defensive success Charlotte have had this year. It has shown his offensive capabilities throughout 2026, and following the early set piece, it's Romero set to get checked on by the training staff. Took that bump from Andre Lewis in the air. The medical staff on the pitch, and we send our well wishes to Romero. Well, there's Lee Veidman. He's loved his club's performance at home as he talks things over with Derek Waldeck. And he had mentioned the smoke. It's forced the club to practice inside. They tried practicing on the pitch just a few days ago, and Lee Veidman himself had trouble breathing. He told me he couldn't imagine how the players feel given that they're running around and he's just standing on the touch lines. He said the air quality at one of their training sessions was 120. Today it's at 98, which is a bit moderate, but they've had their fair share of issues having to battle Mother Nature. Good to see Javier Romero sit up. Swebu Maru has not left his defender's side. He knows how critical he is to this team. Head coach Mike Jeffries and assistant coach Dave Carton look on. And with Luis Alvarez having not played in the last 4 matches, it's a 5th consecutive without having him in the 11. You want to avoid these injuries as much as possible. It's plagued this Charlotte team throughout the year, and they've gotten the healthy numbers back. But again today, 4 players on the injured list, and most importantly, Joey Skinner, who usually plays next to Romero on that left side. Don't want to have to think things over any more than they already have. Mike Jeffries amassed 50 regular season wins in League One play this year. Still a few away from catching the likes of Coach Harks and Coach Sawatsky, who are top that category. Charlotte will not make a substitution, and Romero will await re-entry at the direction of the fourth official. Good sign to see, and we're back underway. Sean Lewis takes the drop ball, and Spokane can set up shop. It's Colin Fernandez. Ibrahim Covey has drawn the attention of Lee Wiedemann and this staff for his positive play. We'll see how he gets involved tonight. Fernandez around to Waldeck on the give and go. Alexandra cannot chase it down, and Charlotte take over. Pelaya's pressuring. Levy forced to clear. It doesn't get far. Spokane, their onslaught of pressure pays off, and there is Anwar Pelaya's. Scored 14 goals a year ago, but this year has only played now in 9 matches in league play and just his 3rd start. Nico Brett, brought over a year ago, a veteran of the USL Championship where he scored 86 goals. Took over a bit of that spot atop of the formation. After losing 5 of 7 matches though. From top to bottom, Lee Wiedemann not afraid to make a switch. Tonight it's Anwar Pelaya's opportunity to showcase what he can do and help the Spokane team pick up a 3rd consecutive win across all competitions. Waldeck into the corner, retrieved Alexandra, and that one poached away. It's played through the middle. Maru switches the pitch. Kafroy lays it off. Amaya. Nga back around to Romero. Charlotte, in their last match against Chattanooga, it was very uncharacteristic from what we've seen from the club here in 2026. Sadie plays it inside. That chance not even close, but a couple early chances here for the Independents, who are setting the tone on the road. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by Kinetic Chiropractic, a modern approach to chiropractic care. For Spokane, Siobhan John Brown and Bryce Meredith unavailable. For Siobhan John Brown, that's a huge loss in the midfield. For Charlotte, Joey Skinner, the latest addition to the injury list. And that's your injury report brought to you by Kinetic Chiropractic, a modern approach to chiropractic care. It's played through. Dangerous chance, flicked forward to Anwar Pelaya's. He collects. Anwar Pelaya's has his shot blocked. And it draws a Spokane corner kick. Good creation there for Pelaya's, and it was all off the ball. Found himself in the right position. Luis Hill and Meji Alexandra able to find the run of Pelaya's in open space. It's oftentimes a guy like Pelaya's not taken account for and will often drift. His creative play sets up this ICCU corner kick. Marky Hernandez makes just his 3rd start of the year. The former Northern Colorado man will have to wait here on this corner kick. And there's Jacob Larson, shares words with Matt Levy. Got a word into Anwar Pelaya's about the extracurricular contact prior to the play. Here's take 2. Hernandez looks promising, it falls, and it did stay in play. Levy quickly to the edge of the area. Plays it smart and retreats. His side conceded 4 goals to Chattanooga last week. And Swebu Maru got things started off in the 13th minute. And then in the second half, Scott McKenzie's side They had their way with this Charlotte team. All 4 goals coming in the final 45 minutes of play. The word we used just moments ago to describe that match was uncharacteristic. As Charlotte, they dropped points from a winning position at halftime for the first time since May 18th, 2024. And it was their first home loss across all competitions this year. Pelias would love to be a huge part in handing Charlotte their 2nd consecutive league loss. He waits in the area as it's Lewis. Fernandez. Waldeck over to Miller. You mentioned that length of time that Charlotte went without dropping points from a winning position at halftime. It was 22 matches, to be exact, without defeat. They were unable to surpass Chattanooga in shots on target, box touches. Just didn't have that same offensive success. While Luis Alvarez had been out for the 3 matches prior to the game against the Red Wolves, he sat on the bench for that match, Didn't see playing time. Boy, was his presence missed. Meanwhile, for Spokane, they thumped Richmond on the road, and they got a little bit of help from an own goal. An own goal took place in the 10th minute. They look to replicate their quick start. Hernandez. Heel around, and that pass deflected. Simon Fitch able to chase it down and was happy to defeat his former team on Saturday as this is played in. Crossed and headed away. Cleared right around the spot. Maru pursues, gets the touch, breaks out of that double team. Both goals scored in that Richmond match for Spokane were created off of hectic play inside the 6-yard box. And while Spokane are the only team this year without a goal outside the area, their presence inside the box, it's been a tall task for opponents to deal with. Not only do they know how to get numbers on the keeper in the 6, but they know how to create at the edge of the area. And you saw the creative movement off the ball by Colin Fernandez to set things up for that near scoring chance that Velocity just had. It's a team whose ball movement is viewed as superior in USL League One. Although in that 6-game stretch where Spokane lost 5 matches, they've even pointed out his team was easy to break down in the middle third. Their box defending wasn't good as teams were simply able to leak through and create chances from just 18 yards out, not giving Sean Lewis much time to react. And while they created enough chances, they simply didn't convert. Charlotte looked to convert here. It sits on the ground, and it's behind Maru. Again, another entry into the area that Spokane would like to avoid. Charlotte simply got forward quickly and effectively. Spokane on the back foot early as Baquero enters it. It sits, dangerous ball, and a clutch sliding challenge. It wouldn't have mattered as the offside flag was raised on the near side, but you love the urgency from the Spokane defenders. Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flatstick Pub, Casa Tap House, Canala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. Long ball played, intercepted with ease. Good challenge and win there from Luis Heel. Quick touch, crafty. Spokane were a matter of inches away from breaking through. It was the extra defensive Charlotte that kept them in their defensive half. What you see in front of you for both sides really is great individual quality. Charlotte might have the best of it in the league, but in terms of the passing capabilities and the recognition of when to take the right opportunities to go for goal and make the necessary pass, there's not many teams that do it better than Spokane and Charlotte, as that one's played in, and it missed the head of the runner. As Colin Fernandez wants that one back. Watch the USL on ESPN2 July 25th for a championship match of teams battling for conference points. Detroit City FC aims to keep its top four standing in the East with a win over Las Vegas Lights FC, club fighting to stay in the hunt in the West. Saturday, July 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Charlotte in 2 matches on the road against Spokane. 1 win and 1 draw. Mentioned the 4-0 thumping that they handed Velocity FC back on March 27th. Table positioning, if you ask the coaches, it doesn't really matter right now. They're just focused on the individual results. But in terms of Charlotte, their chase for the Players' Shield, it continues today as they have that errant giveaway. And for Spokane, they simply just want to get out of 8th and avoid dropping below the playoff line. Only win for Spokane against Mike Jeffries in the Charlotte Independents was last year. Scoreline was 1-0, but the most notable factor in that one was Carlos Marancio's 9-save shutout performance. One of the most memorable in Velocity FC history to date. They have a pretty good option aside from Carlos Marancio net, and it's Sean Lewis, the 2-time Goalkeeper of the Year and Golden Glove Award winner, a League One title winner, a Players' Shield holder with One Knoxville a year ago. And Spokane have found ways to just add veteran presence as the years have gone along. In their 2 off seasons since becoming a professional club. Look at the additions of Neil Vinyals, Nico Brett, Joe Gallardo, Marky Hernandez, Siobhan John Brown. And the list goes on and on. Sean Lewis, Simon Fitch, Nick Spielman, former Charlotte Independence player. Lucky Oper even. The staff, not only are they committed to finally getting over the hump after being consecutive runner-ups in the League One title match, but they're preparing for USL's promotion and relegation in just a few short years to come. I feel this is a roster that can compete in any one of the 3 levels. They want to prepare to do so. They'll be tested here on the back foot again. It's Sadie going for goal, and it's right into the midst of Sean Lewis. Sean Lewis tested and stands strong in the face of the sun. Not an ideal touch there from Derek Waldeck, and Prince Sadie so dangerous on his left foot. Puts that one right over the head of Sean Lewis. The other Lewis, Andre Lewis, plays it forward. Flies on the run. Spokane couldn't connect. God might have tripped over the ball, but it is Charlotte who retain after the offside call. Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our Charity of the Month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. Please visit our site at www.windermerefoundation.com. continuous improvement Mike Jeffries has wanted to make throughout the lengths of the 2026 season is the actions within the build-up. I mentioned it's important to get out of the back in one piece and handle the pressure well. You can see Luis Heel and Anwar Pelaez, when they're on defense, they have continued to press the Charlotte back line at a high rate. Right now, Charlotte returned the favor as Swebu Maru in an attempt to force the ball to one side. Chile works on that right flank. It's Fitch. Not found on that overlapping run. Lewis will try. Fitch takes it on his own boot. Central flicked forward. And it's Levy there to collect. Meji Alexandra was in search of connecting with that ball right at the 6. Heads up play from Matt Levy. Keeps this one scoreless. Mike Jeffries has loved the movement in the final third from his side throughout the year. As mentioned, his guys, they've gotten a little more comfortable in exchanging spots as Cam Miller has made life a little bit more tough for this Charlotte attack that lacks Luis Alvarez in the 11 today. But whether this team has Luis Alvarez available or not, Charlotte's ability to create overloads and just wear teams down has put them atop the ranks attacking-wise in League One. Sadie inside. A little aggressive on the pass. Vaquero keeps Amaya with the swing. It's back to Vaquero. Just the 4th Charlotte player to hit over 10 assists in League One regular season play. Did so against Knoxville back in April. He has 3 on the air. And he was right in the mix for the Golden Playmaker Award back in 2025. We'd love to unlock the scoring here inside the first 25 minutes of play. Manin. Dimmick back to Manin. Elias with the near takeaway on Jefferson Amaya. Manin plays it long. There's a collision in the area. And Swebu Maru and Ibrahim Kovi take a tumble. Ibrahim Kovi's aggressiveness pays off there, not giving an inch of breathing room to Swebu Maru, and rightfully so. Kovi has started now 4 consecutive matches across all competitions. Levy Edman put it simply, he's earned it. He noted that the French defenseman is also a beast. And this Spokane team, they've been leaking goals badly over the last 7 games or so. And at that point, you look to the back line for adjustments. And Kovi, who's worked hard in training, has put himself in a spot to be successful. And just a powerful player in his ability to stop runs. He'll be needed here. He's currently marking Swebu Maru. But Kovi has been one to stabilize this downfall. Can he step in here? And it's Sadie who launches that one over the net. Well, Kovi marked his man centrally, but Prince Sadie given a little too much room in that chance creation. Somehow squeaked through Cameron Miller and Colin Fernandez. At that point, Kovi left on an island, forced to choose between Prince Sadie and Swebu Maru. Chose the latter, and lucky it paid off. Just one shot on target tonight, and it belongs to Charlotte. who have 4 total shots. Meanwhile, for Spokane, they have just 1 overall attempt, and it has not tested Matt Levy. Can they get their golden chance here? Let's see if Derek Waldeck has an answer. Miller. Fernandez. Andre Lewis. To Marky Hernandez. Kobe, the former MLS Next Pro product with Carolina Core. Drops off to Hernandez. It's into the corner. Fitch, a chance to cross. And the flag raised on the far side. Another chance for Spokane, spoiled by an offside call. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Taken away, Mehdi Alexandre, centrally to Luis Hill. Leaves it off for Andre Lewis, who goes for goal. And Matt Levy, with ease on the ground, makes the save. Charlotte Independence, one of the best first half scoring teams in the league. And they lead League One with 23 goals in the first 45 minutes of play this year. They're also the only team to have not been shut out in a league match. This right now a little uncharacteristic. Mentioned it earlier on. The team's ability to get off to fast starts, it's paved the way for success. Miscommunication. Bakero recovers after the error committed by Matthias Guffrey. Lions. Guffrey around into the sun. The Charlotte team, they lead the league with 10 goals scored inside the first 15 minutes of play in league matches. And they've closed out first halves very strong as well. 9 goals in the final 15-minute frame. Their first half play in League One also leads all 17 clubs. For Spokane to limit the damage and leave them at just 1 shot on target, it's a testament to the prep work that Levy-Man's side did going into this match. And of course the emphasis is put on individual defending. And you have to take note with the individual success and talent that Charlotte carries into every single match. Of course, with Luis Alvarez starting the night on the bench. It's pretty key for Spokane to get out and jump and make the first move. Is that challenge clean in open field? Charlotte doesn't like it. Swebu Maru back to his feet. Slowly jogs into the play. Alexandre, his pass deflected. Bakero has Sadie. Maru lurking in the box now. It's Sadie. He's been good on his left. Sees a space for Nga, goes for goal. And it's wide of Lewis. Fabrice Nga, not bad for his first league start on the air. Often an inverted player from that outside back spot on the left side. Knows when to cut in. bring a little fortification to the middle part of this Charlotte formation. Can look a little bit like an elbow at times, and it's not just with Nga, it's also with the likes of Tabanare and Joey Skinner, the regular starter at that left back spot. Gives Charlotte a huge edge. Lets them take space in the attacking half, which is where Spokane now sit. Miller, overzealous in his attempt to find Derek Waldeck. Turns it over to Charlotte. But now we have a hydration break. Can we mention it's 97 degrees in Spokane, Washington. The air quality around 98. It's not bad, but it's not great. Of course, this hydration break is brought to you by Powerade. So Jacob Larson gets all 22 players to the touchline, gives Lee Veidman and Mike Jeffries a chance to talk things over with their clubs. Both clubs come in riding a lot of success in the USL Cup. And they each won their group. For Spokane, they won Group 1, and they'll face Colorado Switchbacks in the USL Cup quarterfinals. They actually fell to Switchbacks in the US Open Cup this year, so nice little revenge story at stake. They lost their opening match to Sacramento, but won their next 3. And as for Charlotte, they defeated League One sides Richmond Kickers and the Greenville Triumph. But they picked up penalty kick victories against Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Charleston Battery. And 2 impressive showings against 2 USL Championship sides that are above the playoff line and in contention in the USL Championship's Eastern Conference. And for Charlotte, after winning Group 6, they'll face the defending champions, Hartford Athletic. Spokane knew coming into this one, if Luis Alvarez was on the pitch, they'd have to put a stop to the midfielder. But nonetheless, it's a team that has to respect the total talent that Charlotte possess. Guys like John Baccaro, Prince Sadie, Swabu Maru, they give you different looks on that top line. Prince Sadie, a great 1v1 player. John Baccaro, clever and good passer. And of course, Swabu Maru, so good in his runs in behind, able to create separation, take advantage of open space. Of course, that is a top line that played together most of the matches and started together in that 8-match win streak. Meanwhile, Colin Fernandez and Marky Hernandez currently in a conversation with Lee Veidman. Hernandez, a veteran of the league, makes his 2nd straight start of the season tonight. Won the USL Cup with Northern Colorado back in 2024, and with Hernandez and Colin Fernandez in the midfield, a guy like Colin Fernandez will be able to learn how to navigate the difficulties of the USL Cup knockout rounds. Swabu Maru, red hot coming into this one, 6 goals and an assist across his last 9 matches, all competitions. That man, Anwar Pelaez, 36 matches a year ago across all competitions. This year, now just his 12th. He was out for 7 league matches before the prior fixture against the Richmond Kickers. If Pelaez could heat up here in the final stretch of the season, the Spokane team could look a lot like the club it was a year ago, where it sat amongst the top ranks of USL League One. Elite Minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. And Matt Levy takes a collision. It was As Anwar Pelaez with the run. Matt Levy doesn't like it, and Anwar Pelaez has a short explanation for Jacob Larson. Mentioned during the hydration break, which was brought to you by Powerade. These two League One sides will move on to the knockout rounds in the USL Cup. As Maru in pursuit, beat to it by Sean Lewis. A year ago when the tournament invited USL Championship teams, Greenville triumphed for the lone League One side to be the final 8 teams in pursuit of the trophy. This year it's 2 USL League One sides that will begin their chase for the hardware. I had a chance to talk with Lee Viedman about that feat. As his side, they hadn't had a lot of success in the USL Cup in recent years. One win in 8 matches in 2024, and last year just a record of 1 in 3. And this year all of a sudden 3 wins in 4 tries. But he mentioned inserting the USL Championship teams, it gives his club an extra edge, a chip on their shoulder, going in to face the second-tier clubs. Sadie wanted to get to his left, and Waldeck poached it free. Derek Waldeck, another fluid player for the Spokane side on that left side. You can insert him as a wingback in the midfield, or play on the back line in that same position as he intercepts. Looks for the run of Pelaez. Evades the contact. And he's frustrated, wanted advantage played. As Jefferson Amaya committed the foul. And he's shown the booking. First yellow of the evening goes to Jefferson Amaya after halting Derek Waldeck as he strided his way down the central column. Waldeck evaded Lyons, and then it was Amaya with that shove. Spokane players could have had a couple of arguments whether it would be a yellow card or advantage to be played. Nonetheless, they get the booking, and Jefferson Amaya, you saw previously shaking his head, disagreed slightly with the call from Jacob Larson. Ball back in play, and Charlotte immediately win it back. Sadie up ahead, wanted Maru, was touched by Miller. Sadie with the volley attempt, thought he was grabbed. Spokane win it. Romero finds Baquero, but just a little bit up ahead of him. Right now Charlotte able to find space in the half spaces and centrally going forward. Falls to Luis Heel. After Pelaez was the intended recipient, he shoved off the ball but draws the free kick. Ray Udmanin thought he had that one cleanly. He's visibly frustrated. Refuses to give the ball over. And Clay Dimmick, the captain for this Charlotte side, trying to vouch for his center back. Here's another look at it. Heel drifting. There's the arm extension from Manin. Shoulders will collide. I mean, this is a contact sport, but it most likely was that arm extension that sold the call to Jacob Larson. Good range here for Spokane. Derek Waldeck and Luis Heel stand over the ball. Waldeck opts wide, Fernandez plays the cross. Charlotte win the touch. Can they keep it in? No, they cannot. Fernandez. Spokane have trouble entering the ball into the second phase. They'll try it long here. Off the feet of Sean Lewis. Alexandra in pursuit. He was offside. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Ave. Open 7 days a week. Charlotte mark the ball on every pass right now. Spokane want to find Colin Fernandez to get the ball into the final third, but there's not much luck as this one's left in open space. The touch, and Levy was right there. Anwar Pelaya's ready to pounce. It was an unexpected moment. Pelaya's got a little more of a foot on it. We might be looking at a 1-0 game. Alexandra off the high bounce, onto his right, and his shot blocked. It rolls, takes a couple of spins, and it's out for a Spokane throw-in, set to be taken by Simon Fitch. Fabrice Nga in heavy pursuit. Charlotte whistled for the foul. A couple times Nga thought he took the ball away cleanly. Throws the ball over the head of Andre Lewis. Lewis unhappy with Nga's delay of the restart of play. It's Waldeck, the left-footed wingback, to take this free kick. Into the box it goes, and Levy snags it out of the air. Win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, located in Airway Heights. Fernandez, there's the pass he's been looking for. It's worked out wide. And this is where Spokane can hurt opponents. Alexandra, his feed knocked backward. Heel, that one over the head of Hernandez. Romero able to clear. That'll be the key for Spokane in the second half. Can they get the ball centrally to a guy like Colin Fernandez, work it outside, and then take advantage of the numbers on the flanks in order to cross? That's the recipe for success for Lee Wiedemann's side. But Charlotte, aside from a few occasions, have done a good job of taking those exact opportunities away. That's where you look to the stellar outside defending in 1v1 scenarios from Clay Dimmick and Fabrice Nga. Two veterans not only of this league, but the Charlotte starting lineup. As Spokane turn it over on their own accord. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Spokane regained control. Off the head of Romero. Falls to Fernandez. Under 60 seconds until the announcement of stoppage time. Likely to have at least a few minutes due to the hydration break. Waldeck's cross. Finds the Charlotte defense. Fly ball, near side. Heavy touch from Alexandra. Able to regain it and sends it into recycle. Good challenge from Nga. Couldn't jar it loose, but he forced Spokane to backpedal. Shove from behind. Omar Pelaez whistled for the infraction. Jacob Larson saw it the whole way. This half stoppage is presented by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort and Hotel. 6 minutes of added time indicated by the fourth official. Charlotte have been deadly in these spots. 9 goals in the final 15 minutes of first halves in League One this year. Cameron Miller gets an explanation from the head official. Walks away with a bit of a chuckle. Charlotte here on the free kick. This is a very good team when it comes to set pieces. They've scored 3 goals off free kicks this year. That leads League One. There's something about the reset that allows Charlotte to take advantage and capitalize as all the players that currently sit forward await their runs. The visitors unable to take advantage of their set piece. It is kept in by the likes of Romero. Guffroy onto his left, calls his own number, and it's Lewis leaping into the sky. He draws an ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. Matthias Guffrey puts Cameron Miller on skates, and it's Sean Lewis who bails out his defense. That was crafty from Guffroy. What a moment that would have been if he connected as he's in search of his first professional goal. It's Bakero and Nga near the corner flag. It's Nga to take without swing. Headed up. And over the crossbar. Matisse Guffroy got to head to it, but was a little more lethal on his previous take. That was foiled by Sean Lewis. Lewis's heave. It's kept in the attacking half. Spokane hold on to it. Struggle for the ball. The visitors draw the foul. Meji Alexandra came with another shove. We've seen that from several Spokane players tonight, as well as the Charlotte players alike. It's a physical game. Individual defending, the highlight for the Spokane defense if they want to come away with 3 points tonight. And if it means committing a foul, so be it. You can't get beat. Vaquero works with his left. Spokane keep it out of the area. Can they take advantage of transition here? Fitch streaks down the far side and receives. Keelan Pelias forward. Fitch, aside from the slip, able to stay with it. Another chance in the air, it's deflected. Alexandra flicked on. Hernandez with the windup. Second chance, no good for Spokane. Oh, what a moment. Started with the Simon Fitch cross. It went off the head of Monin, and Alexandra, look at that flick from Luis Heel. Finds Marky Hernandez. And Andre Lewis had a chance near the penalty spot. Could not punish Matt Levy. A couple of great opportunities from two players who have experience scoring in this league and taking advantage of chances inside the area. And the flag raised. It looked like on the far side. That is the case. Heel caught lurking behind the back line as that ball was released. Just about 30 seconds to go until the approximate conclusion of the half. A little frustration from Luis Heel. Would love to see his side take the advantage. But he has to be proud of his club defensively. That's helped the top scoring team, the top first half scoring team in League One, scoreless in the first 45. Something to be proud of. Maybe one last chance for Spokane. Not the case. There's the halftime whistle from Jacob Larson. Spokane Velocity and the Charlotte Independents are scoreless after the first 45 minutes of play. Sean Lewis with an incredible save to keep the match scoreless on his part. Matt Levy hasn't been tested in any crazy fashion. He's made the routine saves. Right now we're in a battle of two terrific goalkeepers as we head to the break scoreless. Tonight's halftime is brought to you by Creme 2 News, your local Spokane news station. Coming up, we'll have highlights, stats, news from around the league, and more. So stick with us. Spokane and Charlotte are scoreless at the break.
I got it.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
Spokane and Charlotte have yet to strike the score sheet this halftime segment brought to you by Crimp 2 News, your local Spokane news station. And scan now, and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, Casa Tap House, Canella, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. Let's look at the best of the best around the league over the most recent match week. And starting off, our player of the week, Kerfala Toure of Ford Madison. He scored the first 2 goals en route for a brace in Madison's 4-0 thumping of the Richmond Kickers. And Scott McKenzie named coach of the week after his side had a 6-point week in a defeat of the Charlotte Independents on the road and a victory over AB Alta. Sean Lewis and Ibrahim Kobe also picked up honors as Lewis had a 4-save shutout against Richmond on Saturday night. And Ibrahim Kobe, his goal doubled Spokane's lead, and it was his first in a Spokane Velocity kit, a moment to remember for the defender. While we have a moment, let's take a look at the future stadiums around the USL. This league and the USL in its entirety only continues to grow over the coming years. So let's take a look at the stadiums that have drawn eyes in recent memory.
They are more than shiny and new. The latest collection of brand new stadiums in USL are a commitment to communities. Fans in Boise have set attendance records. Finishing touches greet the fans in Fort Wayne weekly. In Greenville, Triumph fans are in love with their permanent new home. These projects take time and patience, but nothing gets a community excited like seeing a shovel in the ground. Detroit City of the USL Championship has gone from dreams to renderings to construction. At its recent groundbreaking in Southwest Detroit, Alumni Phi Stadium became a vision for the very near future.
We've been incredibly fortunate to create something that's way bigger than us, and that we have the great fortune of being stewards of it. And the stadium represents really an investment in that community, an investment in this neighborhood, a tremendous investment in the city, and something that will be around for generations to come.
With this stadium, the club is investing in its future and demonstrating a long-term commitment to building a sustainable, community-driven club. I'm excited for what the future holds for Detroit City. I can't wait to be back here for the opening match in 2028. And I want to say congratulations to the fans, supporters, ownership group, and the entire community that made this amazing new home possible.
At 15,000 seats, Alumni Phi raises the bar for Detroit City. Soon there will be more groundbreakings and sounds of stadium construction as USL gets closer to the launch of Premier.
Hay mucha fiesta, señor Martino. Hay sed de revancha, doctor. Pero falta gol y estamos a esperar a un gol. ¿Hugo Sánchez? Sí, tira para adelante. ¿Quién maneja? ¿Un futbolista? ¡Súbete, Luis! ¡Llegamos por fin! ¡Ay, bendito sea el chapar, doctor! Hugo, ¿regreso a las canchas? ¿Algún consejo?
Sí, confía y cree en ti.
¡Ey! ¡Vas al norte!
A donde me dé la oportunidad, pero listo para dar el paso.
¡Listo, vamos!
This is your moment.
You ever just look at them and think, yeah, I'm doing all right.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Spokane and Charlotte are scoreless at the break. And halftime tonight is brought to you by Creme 2 News, your local Spokane news station. Scan the QR code to vote for your favorite Lumberbeard co-branded can. The winning can will be sold in stadium and at select stores next month. Lumberbeard, your preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. It's a beautiful night at One Spokane Stadium where the fans gather in hopes of watching their side pull off the upset against the Charlotte Independents. Let's take a look at the scores from around the league, also brought to you by Creme 2 tonight. Portland, who went up 1-0, eventually fall to Union Omaha, who reclaimed the top spot in the league. And how about Westchester, a 3-0 thumping of New York Cosmos. Westchester pick up a little momentum in this in-state rivalry. We'll see what they have in store for the weekend. While we have a moment, let's take a look at the update from around USL.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
It is halftime in League One. We hope you're enjoying the match. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at the headlines. No club had a better week last week than the Chattanooga Red Wolves, who notched a pair of victories over top four teams in League One. It began with a 1-0 victory over AV Alta and finished with a big 4-2 win over Charlotte Independents, ending Charlotte's run of 14 straight matches without a defeat in all competitions. Fort Wayne FC staged a beautiful tribute to the late John Bellio, one of the club's co-founders. Bellio lost his battle with cancer in 2025. To honor Bellio, Fort Wayne will make this night an annual event, with proceeds going to Cancer Services of Northeast Indiana. On the field, Fort Wayne defeated Greenville Triumph 3-0, and a late substitution featured 16-year-old Johnny I. At 16 years, 12 days old, I is the youngest player to see game action for an independent League One club. National Spotlight games in League One and the Championship next Saturday. Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting Louisville City on ESPN2. August 5th, Richmond Kickers hosting New York Cosmos on CBS SN. Then on the 8th, Monterey Bay hosts New Mexico United on CBS SN. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Tonight's halftime highlights are brought to you by Creme 2 News, your local Spokane news station. Well, we're scoreless at the break, but it doesn't mean we have plenty to show you. Prince Sadie very close to netting this one, left Sean Lewis helpless. The match would remain scoreless, and just a few minutes later, Spokane would have their chance to answer as Andre Lewis rifled that one right to Matt Levy, but the chances would continue to fall for Spokane. They would have to wait, though, as it was Prince Sadie again on chance creation. Fabrice Nga had to go from the area. They would have beat the outstretched arms of Sean Lewis, but couldn't put it on frame. Then in stoppage time, Matthias Guffroy had a chance, and that miraculous save by Sean Lewis would keep it headed into the break. Spokane's best chance, they had not just one, but two. Meji Alexandra on the flick from Luis Heel. Marky Hernandez had that shot blocked by Clay Dimmick, and Andre Lewis couldn't net it. Tonight's halftime stats are also brought to you by Creme 2 News. We're scoreless, and it's Charlotte out in front, leading shots 7-6, and each side has 2 shots on frame. The hosts have nearly 60% possession, and you expect that in home League One matches for sides to control the ball and own the tempo. Only seen a handful of corners, but several offside calls have taken away fast break opportunities for both of these clubs. Let's get back out to the pitch, where it is Charlotte who await to start the second half. They're in the navy blue kits, and we'll go right to left. Velocity FC in the light kits, dark letters and numbers, they'll go left to right. Head official this evening, Jacob Larson. The weather was 97 degrees at kickoff. It's still steaming hot for this exhilarating contest that caps off Wednesday night action in USL League One. I'm Josh Lill from One Spokane Stadium. Happy to bring this match to you. Each club had a fair amount of good chances. Each side with 2 on net to test Matt Levy and Sean Lewis respectively. And Sadie hounded from behind and wins the foul for Charlotte. Most notably, Luis Alvarez on the bench to start the night. He was out for 3 consecutive matches. Sat on the bench as a reserve in that Chattanooga loss last week. We'll see if he sees any action tonight. Meji Alexandra to his right. There's another shot blocked. We've seen Clay Dimmick do that a couple times this evening. Not afraid to put his body on the line. Bicycle kick attempt, and Pelaez whiffs. Grabbed his head for a second. We hope he's okay. He's quick to his feet. Right now it's all gas for Spokane. Hernandez takes a shove. Stayed with it momentarily and then lost the ball. Charlotte clear. Swaybu Maru in space. Taken out of the equation by Cameron Miller. Simple body positioning from these Spokane defenders that can take guys like Prince Sadie, Swaybu Maru, and John Baccaro out of the play. That's where the importance of individual defending comes in, as Guffroy is taken down. It's Baccaro. Sadie evades Waldeck. Left it off for Lions. It was eventually taken away, but an errant giveaway by Spokane. It gets Charlotte in good field positioning. Maru looks looks to turn and face. Maya gifts that one to Spokane. They're eventually able to win it. Charlotte make every pass so difficult for Spokane as they're under pressure. Kobe under duress, and it is a corner kick for Charlotte. This is the ICCU Corner Kick, your financial success fan club. Romero jogs over for his set piece duties. What a moment out of the half that this could be. It's low on the ground, off of Monin. Dimmick was there. Taken from distance. Looked like Covey got the block. Charlotte not satisfied. They turn it over. And it just rolls to the feet of Matt Levy, who's decked out in pink tonight for Charlotte. Romero. Vaquero calls his own number, and John Vaquero skies that one into the netting behind the net. And Sean Lewis wanted to see the guys in front of him converge a little bit to not give John Vaquero a wide open lane. They come away unscathed, and it's something Lewis certainly wants to see improvement on. Monin way off the back line. Hopes of pressuring that one away from Luis Heel. Eddie Alexandra wants to turn and face and draws a foul in the process. And Clay Dimmick has made life quite difficult on that right flank for Spokane tonight. Fitch. The aggressiveness, the chippiness starts to show for both clubs. They're desperate for all 3 points tonight. Amaya, I've seen him score from half field. Did it against Corpus Christi back in May. Not quite the same effect there, but you have to respect his abilities when getting through that middle third. Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, Casa Tap House, Canala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. Covey. Andis wants it. Unable to clear. There's a force back there for Charlotte. Leads the team this year with 13 blocks coming into tonight. It's a tall task for opponents. Stands 6'2". Lofted ball in. The header in search. And there it is, a penalty. Fabrice Nga livid by the call. And Jacob Larson with a bit of a dramatic effect. Points to the spot. Gave it a moment. Here's a look on the replay. He thought Heel was taken out of the air by Nga, not allowed to cleanly land. And it was a slight bump from Fabrice Nga. But again, did not let him land cleanly. Affected his attempt in the air. And Luis Heel, we pointed him out in pregame. A pivotal part of all the success that Spokane has had over the past couple of years. Will have a chance to take advantage of Fabrice Nga's foul inside the box. But you know what? He's confident in Matt Levy. The Charlotte keeper has saved 2 penalties in League One regular season play this year. That leads USL League One. His side, they've won 2 penalty kick matches in the USL Cup against Pittsburgh and Charleston. Matt Levy, you can see him smiling. He's used to this situation. Can Luis Heel give Spokane the lead. Heel gets it in! He threads the needle and beats the best penalty kick stopper in all of USL League One. Take up out, Luis Heel. An excellent take from the penalty spot. Matt Levy guessed right, but it was just a better ball from the get-go. Here's the foul that drew it. Heel went in the air. It was taken down by Fabrice Nga. Again, Matt Levy guessed right, but the captain with that much better placement. Third goal of the year for Luis Heel. It's a big one. Spokane fans would love it because if this result holds as we speak, Spokane would go from 8th to 4th place in the league table. That is a massive goal. It can change the month of July for this team that hasn't had it easy as of late in League One. Just 4 shots on target prior to that goal. Charlotte desperate for an answer. Spokane have been in plenty of close games this year, 10 of them across all competitions, and they've picked up 7 wins in those 10 matches. The reason they're in this game, though, they shut out the best first half team in all of League One. Charlotte, who have scored 23 goals in the first 45 minutes of matches. Spokane stood tall. It made life quite difficult for Charlotte in the opening frame. Alexandra dispossessed. Dimick with space. Places it right at the feet of Derek Waldeck. This is an interesting moment for Spokane. Do they park the bus, if you will? Or do they continue their pressure in hopes of scoring another? Certainly this Charlotte team can put up numbers in a hurry. Certainly something to consider. Spokane this year, 6 wins, 1 loss, and a draw when scoring the opening goal in league play. Pelaya's hounded and grabbed to the ground. Romero won't get away with that challenge. And Pelaya's wants to see a color out of the pocket of Jacob Larson. That won't be the case. Spokane have now shut out opponents in 10 of 17 matches in the first half this year. As that one's poked over, Pliers took a bump. Charlotte did whatever they needed to keep the ball away. Spokane livid that there's not a free kick. Foul right at the edge of the area. Charlotte looked to punish in transition. They're slowed up a bit. Nga committed the recent infraction. Watches that ball pass him, and Lewis collects. Lee Wiedemann in the days leading up to this match Talked about the adversity that his club faced, losing 5 of 6 in the league. Spokane thought they won that ball. There's a bit of mix-up. It looked initially as Jacob Larson pointed in the direction of Charlotte, but got the call corrected. But again, Coach Wiedemann alluded to that tough stretch and mentioned in those moments you just have to take football and compare it to life situations. That one takes a bump, and it's out for a goal kick. Well, that ball took a deflection, but Jacob Larson saw a goal kick. It went off a Charlotte player, but Jacob Larson must have seen something to indicate that this one goes to the feet of Matt Levy. Again, there is no VAR in the USL, so this is Charlotte's ball. At the hour mark, Spokane quite shocked that they did not take over. Nonetheless, they do lead 1-0 off a penalty conceded by Fabrice Nga and capitalized on by Luis Heel. Sean Lewis lurking out beyond the byline. Keeps the ball within the lines. Oftentimes when you face adversity, the vibe, it can be a little bit weird per se. You could be doing everything right and things don't go your way. Or maybe you don't think you're doing everything right and the events that you want do go your way. And that's what Levy been alluded to when he was talking about that tough stretch. The accountability, it's kept his side positive, and Luis Heel, a big part of that accountability. Keeping his team honest. He'll check out for Neil Vinyals. Joe Gallardo checks in for Marky Hernandez. They exit to a nice roar of applause as these substitutions are brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino. Heel, the lone goal scorer, see the end of his day and plop right down next to Carlos Marancio. It's one back, Fernandez. It's Lewis, had a good chance earlier. Alexandre, header from Pelaez. He hits the deck. Fitch, right place, right time to retrieve. But Boncaro with a heads-up play to jump to the ball and win it for the visitors. Charlotte now this year have conceded 8 penalties. That's a league high. And have allowed 6 penalty goals, which also leads USL League One. Troubles from the spot have haunted and followed Mike Jeffrey's side into the match today. And right now sit between a result and a loss for this Charlotte team. Sadie. Strong with his left. Guffrey in pursuit. And it's Lewis there to handle with ease. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select the player's choice. Clean touch from Gallardo. All of a sudden finds himself involved in the match and draws a corner kick. The former League One Finals MVP with early action on the right flank. This now sets up an ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. Neil Vinyals, the all-time USL League One leader in assists. Play this one likely without swing. Vinyals now in his 180th regular season match in League One. His service lurks out wide, but Alexandra there. Luis Alvarez getting ready to check in for Charlotte. Could he come in on a tie game? Let's see what Swebu Maru has to say about it. Maru shielded off that central column by Ibrahim Kobe. Plays it central. It's knocked back down and falls to Guffroy. Sadie. Amaya. Shoveled back out. Amaya opts out wide to Clay Dimmick. Falls to Baquero, goes for goal. And Sean Lewis has been ready for these balls that have come flying outside the box. Whether he's had to make a save or not, he's been ready. And Luis Alvarez, after not playing for 4 consecutive matches across all competitions, is back on the pitch for the Charlotte Independents. And it's a moment that the Independents faithful have awaited as he checks in on this Coeur d'Alene Casino substitution. Miles Lyons makes way for arguably right now the best player in all of USL League One and the reigning player of the month in June. What an addition Alvarez is, coming off the bench with fresh legs. And prior to his absence, he had scored 8 goals and recorded 3 assists in 7 league matches. That is absurd. 5 of those goals came in June across all competitions, and it landed him the award and also earned him Mid-Season Player of the Year honoree. Alvarez so dangerous, getting box to box. Hard to defend 1v1. Gives this Charlotte team so many different options, and that's what made Lee Wiedemann notice how hard it is to defend this Charlotte team. Pointed out they lack identity because they have so many different ones. The versatility that Luis Alvarez gives this Charlotte lineup, it's unparalleled to any team in League One. We'll see if the visitors can even things up. Sadie. Knocked forward, Spokane wants a handball there. A couple of mid-season honorees on the pitch. Like we mentioned, Luis Alvarez, Player of the Year, and Matt Levy awarded mid-season Goalkeeper of the Year. Came into tonight having stopped 70% of the shots he's faced. Recorded clean sheets on 3 occasions. The press on, and Alvarez nearly with the intercept. Every pass so important for Spokane. It goes out, and you can see Lee Wiedemann motioning for his guys to calm down, breathe, take a second to make a decision. That's good coaching from a guy in Lee Wiedemann that has been to 3 consecutive league championship matches. Of course, the 2 runner-up finishes in League One in 2024 and in 2025, but as part of the Charleston Battery staff that lost to Phoenix Rising back in 2023. Knows what it takes to make those big moments. Coaches guys through these helter-skelter times. Vinyals, not a lot of room to work. Andre Lewis put Alvarez on skates. Waldeck into the box. Vinyals. It's poked free. A little grabbing and tugging there from Spokane, and it throws a whistle from Jacob Larson. Heads up play from Fernandez. Oh, it's played to the Charlotte players' feet. Spokane want to be quick and efficient working through that middle third. Here's Alvarez. Luis Alvarez. And dispossessed by Andre Lewis. Vignal's quickly out. Hits Simon Fitch. Good underlapping run. Sets up the cross if he wants it. It's into the area. Yeah, Anwar Pelaez streaking down the middle. Offside yet again. That's now 4 offside infractions against Spokane. The idea is right. The run is good, but the timing just a little bit off. Just under 21 minutes to go until the announcement of stoppage time. We asked the question earlier, will Spokane sit low and defend? Well, that question was answered quite quickly. They've continued to attack forward as Romero on the give and go. That one off the boot of Miller. Vignals and company look to add another. Alexandra. Waldeck triple teamed. It is Alexandra. Forward to Pelaez, he's onside. And simply beat to the ball. Alvarez. Tussle in the corner. It's won by Charlotte. You have to respect the distance that Luis Alvarez can score from. Made a beauty from outside the box against Omaha in June. Sadie goes down, and a clean tackle won. Pelaez, flag stays down. Pelaez in a heated battle. Oh, Ray Udmanin, pure strength. Able to pry that one away from the feet of Anwar Pelaez. Was a little ginger to move forward. Jack Denton and Nico Brett set to be the next substitutions for Spokane. Luis Heel with a penalty just before the hour mark. It was conceded by Fabrice Nga. Bacchero had the run of Dimmick and left it a little short. To credit both sides in their defending in that first third. They made it really tough to break into the middle of the field, but Spokane found daylight. Simon Fitch, numbers for Spokane, had a heavy touch on the ball, but does stay with it. Flicks it inside. Gallardo going for goal! Gallardo with a beauty, and Spokane have doubled their lead. Once a finals MVP, always a finals MVP. Joe Gallardo off the bench, found himself in open space, took advantage, unmarked, and it's Simon Fitch. He'll be credited with the assist. This one curling right past the outstretched arms of Matt Levy. Javan Romero did everything right, he got to the ball. But Simon Fitch with the extra effort to keep it alive. And Joe Gallardo, a veteran of this league, does not disappoint when given a chance. Second goal on the year across all competitions for Joe Gallardo. This just his second start since June 1st. Or sorry, just one start since June 1st for Joe Gallardo. He's had to adjust coming off the bench, but has shown whether it's in the 11 or as a reserve, he can come in and change the match on any given day. We had one at the half-hour mark, and we'll take a break now. It is a hydration stoppage, which is brought to you by Powerade. Simon Fitch and Joe Gallardo will head to the bench heroes and have a chance to take a breather. Hydration break brought to you by Powerade, and taking a look at how we got to this extended lead. Luis Gil first draws the penalty. Fabrice God took him out of the air. It was Luis Gil with a stunner, able to beat Matt Levy, regarded as one of the best penalty kick savers in all of USL League One. But to beat a team like Charlotte, you'll need more than one goal. Simon Fitch goes the distance, and it seemed like Javan Romero that disrupted play. Simon Fitch doesn't give up and finds Joe Gallardo in open space, punishes the Independence defense to make it 2-0 hosts. Final 15 minutes coming up here, and it's a 2-score advantage for Spokane. This is unlikely for Charlotte. They've been the only team not shut out in League One play this year. Both teams are great at home, but of course in a game, only one team can play at home. And tonight it's Spokane taking full advantage of this match at One Spokane Stadium. If the result holds, this would be their 10th win at home across all competitions. Nico Brett and Jack Denton officially in for Spokane on these Coeur d'Alene Casino substitutions. We're back underway. Spokane just under 15 minutes away and change from walking away with all 3 points in this one. Vigo Ortiz also in for Prince Sadie on the visitor side. After losing 5 of 7 across all competitions, Spokane were shut out 4 times in that stretch. They come into this one with back-to-back wins against Oakland and Richmond. That win against Oakland clinched their USL Cup group. And momentum, it's a beautiful thing in sports. Velocity FC have taken full advantage of their previous results. Lee Wiedemann knows how important each of those 2 victories were. But they play just a small part in the big equation for this Spokane team that hasn't really seen a spot like 8th place in the league table much before in their previous 2 seasons. 8th place, their lowest ranking since match week 2 of a year ago, where they lost their 2nd game of the season. Otherwise, they spent most of 2025 as a 3 seed or higher. Dimmick. Baltic with the takeaway. Spokane, scan the QR code for your chance to win a free water heater from Raptor Rooter and Plumbing, the proud plumbing partner of your Spokane Velocity. Waldeck looks for the run up ahead of Nico Brett. Took his chance. Romero and Manin to take over. It's Alvarez. First appearance in 4 matches across all competitions. Vigo Ortiz. Pass in the middle, knocked away. Velocity fans, get match ready with the latest Velocity merchandise. Shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. Inga around. Of course, this Charlotte team, they're no joke outside the area. 10 of their 36 goals have come from outside the box. And that leads USL League One. Booking shown there to Andre Lewis. And now wears the captain's armband in place of Luis Heel. Just the 4th yellow this year for the star-studded midfielder for Spokane. And Lewis with the trip up. Guthrie was cutting inside and didn't give him any chance. So here's Baquero. And it's John Baquero to the back post, and nobody home for Charlotte. Can watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Alvarez into the attacking half. Romero a little bit more forward in an aggressive attacking position. That ball way down yonder. It did take a deflection off Spokane. It's Charlotte's throw-in. Clay Dimmick and Fabrice Nga well into the midfield. So it's up to Javan Romero and Reid Manin to defend that back line. To Luis Heel and Joe Gallardo, lone goal scorers for Spokane. It's all come in the second half. That one poked free. Chance to get out and run for Spokane. Nico Brett sees Matt Levy off his line. And it's not a worry for the Charlotte keeper. Of course, in USL League One over the last couple of years, we've seen so many goals from the halfway point in the field. But this is not a good sign as Andre Lewis is down on the pitch, injured. Lewis was in pursuit. And non-contact too. No one around him. And came up hobbled, excuse me, as he got into the final third. Andre Lewis writhing in pain. It's not a good sign for Lee Veidman. And Lewis has been the definition of consistency for this club. He's had at least 22 starts in league play over the last 2 seasons. And in terms of pure ability and entering the ball into the box and craftiness in the final third, this is the guy for Spokane. No substitute yet for Velocity FC, as Mike Jeffries gets a number of players ready to enter the pitch. Tabonare, Sega Koulibaly. And how about this? What a moment for Jalen Orr wearing number 27. And Jalen Orr, who recently competed for the Charlotte Independence USL 2 team, just signed his first professional contract. It's a 25-day deal. He's about to make his first professional appearance. Logged over 800 minutes in leading the USL 2 team to the league playoffs. Also a Gardner-Webb alum. Spent 4 years and scored 13 goals in 56 matches at Gardner-Webb. He's described as, by this staff, a relentless worker with a great mentality, but his technical skill makes him very adaptable on the pitch. Right now, a moment for Jalen Orr to remember for his entire career. These moments are unforgettable, and right now Spokane would love to forget this sight. Andre Lewis down. Hands the captain's armband off to Neil Vignals, and right now the hope you have for Spokane is that Andre Lewis can just walk off the pitch. But on the flip side for Charlotte, a moment to celebrate here on these Coeur d'Alene Casino substitutions. Jalen Orr makes his professional debut here in the dying minutes of the club's match against Spokane Velocity. Andre Lewis gets a nice hand of applause and right now has trouble putting weight on that left leg. Good sportsmanship there from John Bakira to help off the injured midfielder. Our thoughts and well wishes are with Andre Lewis. He's been coaching up his side, and Andre Lewis will certainly be a thought on his mind going into the Fort Wayne match on Saturday and throughout the rest of the season. Not just for skill-wise on the pitch, but as a human. Lewis, a leader on this team. Best ability is availability, and Lewis, such a big part of the runner-up finishes in the past 2 years for Spokane. Moses Mensah will come on in relief. Again on this Coeur d'Alene Casino substitution. Best wishes to Andre Lewis going forward and a speedy recovery. Can Jalen Orr, 22 years of age, makes his professional debut for the Charlotte Independence. Tabonare and Sega Koulibaly. Also reinforcements for Mike Jeffries late. Alvarez opts off to Ortiz. Flag raised and offside the call. USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Vignals forward and deflected out. Win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, located in Airway Heights. Denton scoring the third goal in matches is his charm. He scored the third goal in the club's first ever playoff win against Northern Colorado. He sets up Vignals! Third time's the charm, and Spokane are rolling. Matt Levy stunned, and Velocity FC are well on their way to their third straight victory. We talked about Jack Denton's magic late in matches, dashing back to that quarterfinal a couple years ago, and he finds the veteran, Neil Vignals. The movement off the ball has set up Spokane for all their success tonight. Luis Gil draws the penalty in the air. Neil Vignals drifts away as How could you not want to ride a bike after that goal? And then lastly, Joe Gallardo for the second goal. Just worked his way into the box unmarked. The vision of these Spokane players has been superb tonight. And congrats to Neil Vinyals. That is his 25th career League One regular season goal. Up next for Spokane, they'll face Fort Wayne on Saturday at home at 6 p.m. local time. Things getting chippy. As Simon Fitch had to be pulled out of the conversation. Clay Dimmick, not afraid to throw a few shoves in there, and all of a sudden Simon Fitch and Luis Alvarez into a scuffle. Words being exchanged, and it's turned into physicality, and Sean Lewis is livid at Simon Fitch, trying to keep his guy under control. We do not know what was said or exchanged, but Simon Fitch and Luis Alvarez heated, and they're not done sharing words. Jacob Larson talking things over with Derek Waldeck. And here it is, Romero with that late shove of Simon Fitch. Took some time, might have turned and said something. And then Fitch throws the ball at Romero and explains that there might have been a little unsportsmanlike conduct following the play. And all of a sudden, Fitch and Alvarez got into a heated exchange. Fitch frustrated, and understandably so. The play was long over and shoved late to the turf. This half stoppage is presented by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort and Hotel. 8 minutes of added time put on the clock here and indicated by the fourth official. Well, great leadership from both sides to pull players out of that scuffle. Scan now for your latest ticket deals for Spokane Velocity FC. Ortiz with daylight. That went off the back of a defender. There was a quick plead for a handball, but notioned away by Jacob Larson. Koulibaly goes down. Ortiz picks him up. Vigo Ortiz, Baquero curling ball, and what a stop from Sean Lewis. The Golden Glove man with a platinum-like stop. It seemed as Ortiz and Baquero were ready to have a coming of togetherness. And Baquero got his foot to the ball first as that header to Lewis might have caught a late leg up. And that is the case. Jacob Larson saw it the whole way. Head official wants Swebu Maru to march toward him. And that is the official booking against Swebu Maru. It's a night of frustration for Charlotte. They faced a bit of adversity following those 8 consecutive wins in league play. They got the job done in the USL Cup, but that frustrating loss at home against Chattanooga is carried over here. And the last team to have not been shut out in League One, well on the verge of being held scoreless in this affair. Alvarez forced out wide. He thought he was fouled. That is the case. Charlotte up next. They'll head home to face Richmond. It's the 27th all-time meeting between the two clubs. That's the most of any opponent the Independents have ever faced in all competitions that they've taken part in. Romero, not even close. As for Spokane, they'll host Fort Wayne at this very pitch in just a few days in hopes to avenge a 3-0 loss on July 4th. Throw in inside. Covey, who since starting on the back line for Spokane has given a jolt to Lee Viedman's club. If this result holds, they'll go 3-1 with Covey in the starting lineup over the last 4 games. Two all-time wins for Lee Viedman at the helm of this Spokane team. Win number 43 well within reach at this point. Just about 3 minutes to go until the approximate end of this match. Sean Lewis clears. Pitch into the midfield. Soft touch from Alexandra. And Romero takes advantage. Slowed up on the play and eventually fouled. Over the head of Romero. And now for a Spokane goal kick. Lewis keeps this one as far away from his net as possible. A win tonight for Spokane would jolt them from 8th to 4th in the league table. Levy with urgency. Rifles that one to Dimmick. Koulibaly. Given room. Turns it over. Recollected by Charlotte. Dimmick, Alvarez calling for it. Unable to find him. It's flicked into the air. Vinyals, the all-time assist leader in USL League One. Creative in open space. Ball centrally, flag stays down for now, and it's nearly a 4th for Spokane. Nearly a brace for Joe Gallardo. Right place, right time. And the execution so close for Lee Viedman, who had emphasized that a lack of execution and conversion in the midst of their high levels of chance creation was a big reason of why they fell in so many matches as of late. However, tonight, the story rewritten. 5 goals, 3 shots on target for Spokane. Much improved. And they continue their stellar run of form at home. And there's the final whistle. Spokane shut out Charlotte 3-0. They move from 8th all the way to 4th in the League One table. It's 3 consecutive wins across all competitions for Lee Wiedemann's side. And shares word with Mike Jeffries, 2 coaches who have a lot of respect for each other. Dave Carton and Gabby Oberton have competed against Coach Wiedemann for a while now. There's much to celebrate tonight, but plenty to get back and work to for Fort Wayne on Saturday. And congratulations to Neil Vignals, now 25 career goals in USL League One regular season play. Capped it off and embraces Clay Dimmick, another veteran of this league. When we come back, we'll have full-time highlights, stats, and play of the match coming up. But your final score is brought to you by Creme 2 News, your local Spokane news station. Stay tuned. Spokane defeats Charlotte 3-0.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
On a hot, steamy night in the Pacific Northwest, Spokane Velocity shut out the Charlotte Independents. Final score brought to you by Creme 2 News, your local Spokane news station. There's plenty to be excited about if you're a Velocity FC fan going into the weekend off 3 consecutive wins for Charlotte. They head back to the drawing board. But while we have a moment, let's take a look at how we got through the full 90 minutes here in full-time highlights. Starting things off, we didn't see a lot of action in the first half, but all of a sudden the tempo got going in the final 45 minutes of play. Again, full-time highlights brought to you by Creme 2. Luis Heel draws the penalty on Fabrice Nga, and Heel calls his own number from the spot. That would be the game winner to beat Matt Levy. A critical answer off the bench from Joe Gallardo, but look at the second effort here on our play of the match presented by Modelo. Simon Fitch keeps it alive after getting into the final third, and Gallardo, you can't give him open space. He connects and beats Matt Levy. It looked like Javier Romero had the dispossession. Fitch stays with it and deserves just as much credit on that play as Gallardo got the goal. And then to cap it off, Neil Vignals, the veteran of this league, gets into space. Jack Denton, another cross on the byline. In nearly the same exact spot that Joe Gallardo scored his goal, Vignals nets one to make it 3 for Velocity FC. Good run by Denton, creates the space, and draws an open spot for Vignals to connect. Full-time stats also brought to you by Creme 2 News, your local Spokane news station. Shutout recorded by Spokane. It's the first time that Charlotte fall via the shutout in League One play. No team, well, they were actually the last team to have been shut out in a league match. And Spokane, while they didn't have the edge in the shots department, they converted at a high rate at 60%. Possession was nearly 50-50, and Charlotte were unable to take advantage of the corner kicks they accumulated tonight. And who knows, if Spokane weren't offside as much as they were, that tally very well could have been higher than 3 goals. We also had a scuffle and 4 yellow cards that were shown throughout the game. So a bit of chippiness throughout, but a clean match for Spokane. And Charlotte head home a bit frustrated For our entire production crew, I'm Josh Lill saying so long from Spokane, Washington. Velocity FC upset the Charlotte Independents. Final score brought to you by Crim 2 News. We hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Spokane defeat Charlotte.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.